The first step is to find a world that suits you. I'm on world 417 because that is a free-to-play world and there is no stat requirements to play on it. Once you have logged in, you will be prompted to a display name, which you must find a name that you would like to play as. You may choose your display name. It can be whatever you want as long as it's available, and I think it has to follow some guidelines so you can't be too inappropriate with it. Once you are a member, you can change this once a month for free, or you can use a bond to speed up the process and you can change it whenever. Once you have found a name that suits you and what you want to be known as, you can simply set your name, and then it will send you off to the character design. This you can have a lot of fun with. You can choose whatever you want. For me, I'm just going to choose a bunch of random stuff, and we're going to do that. Alright, so there's our character. Now you can choose between male or female. If I choose the female option, I think that's going to mess up what I just did, so I will not be clicking that. But once you are happy with what you have made yourself look like, you can hit accept, and you are good to go. Now our first step here on Tutorial Island is to talk to the Gelinor guide. Now, here's one tip that a lot of people don't know. If you simply hit the space bar, it will toggle right through the chat, so you don't have to actually do anything. Now, because I will be showing you this and everything about Tutorial Island in this video, I'm going to say I'm an experienced player. You guys can go through the other options if you wish, but for this video, I will not be. Now, our first step was to hit the settings, which was right over here in the options. And once you have done that, you can talk to the Gelinor guide once again. You can just skip through all of that, and he will say to go ahead. So, you can click on the door. You can either right-click this door with your mouse, or you can just left-click it. Either way, the door will not open because it is magical. Now, you can run down the path by clicking on the actual map itself, as you can see by my mouse, or if you can click on the mini-map itself, as you can see in the top right, you can see me moving around the character. Now, we have to talk to the survival expert while we are here. This expert will teach us how to fish, how to woodcut, and how to fire make. So once you have gotten the small fishing net, simply click on the inventory and you will be good to go, and then your skills will pop up. If we hover over the skills over any of these, we can see how much experience we have and how much experience we need to get to the next level. Currently, we are level 1 in all of the free-to-play stats, except for hit points, which everyone starts off at 10 with. Once you've caught your first fish, which is always shrimp, you can speak to the expert once again, and they will give you an axe and a tinderbox. So, once you've gotten those, you can come over to a tree, as that man just did right there. Simply click chop down on the tree, and your character will stop chopping them down. Now, for normal trees, you will always only get one log. If you chop down any other trees like oaks or above, you can get more than just one log, but for basic trees, you will always only get one log. So we're going to chop down 2 logs because sometimes the fire goes out, and then once we have done that, we can use the log on the tinderbox, and that will automatically start a fire making process, which will give us a bunch of experience. So once you have done that, you can use your shrimp on the fire, and hopefully you can cook them first try. We have done it, meaning we can move on now. Clicking west, we can run past here, which is a gate. Now we can go the path route, or we just skip it and go around, because we're cool like that. We go to the door. In here, we will be learning how to cook. Don't mind what we just did with the shrimps over there. That was of course not cooking. This is going to be proper cooking. Click through his options and he will give you a pot of flour and a bucket of water. Simply use one on the other and you will be given bread dough. With this bread dough, you can come over here to a range. It has to be a range. You can't cook certain things on fires. So just know that in the future, things like bread or potatoes, you need an actual range for, and if you don't, you will always burn it, I believe. There's no way around that. And once you've cooked your bread, you can go through the door. While you're on the way here, you can actually toggle your run by clicking on it, and you will have to do that in order to enter this next door, where you will be given your first ever quest. Now, this quest will not actually appear in your quest log. Don't worry, there aren't this many quests if you're free to play. There are only this many. I'm not sure how many there are, but I would say 15 to 20. Doing a quick count, there are 21 free-to-play quests as of right now. So once you have gotten your first quest, you can speak back to the quest guide and skip through all of the options. He will explain that you can click on any of these. It will tell you where to start, the requirements you need, and any prerequisites like quests that you might need for the quest as well. So once you have done that, head on down the ladder and you will be in a tunnel. Run through the tunnel and you will find yourself in like a mine area. Speak to the mining instructor and he will give you a pickaxe. Run over to the rocks and start mining. Right here, all of these silverish rocks are all tin, and over here, all of these like reddish orange, whatever color you want to call them, are all copper. Once you have one of each in your inventory, you can run over here to the furnace, and you can either use, which will automatically give you a bronze bar, or you can manually click the ore into the furnace. Either way, it will work. Now, once you have your bronze bar, he will give you a hammer, and he will want you to come over here to the anvils. Simply click on the anvil and it will show you everything that you can make with that type of bar in your inventory. If you have multiple bars of like different types, like you have bronze or steel or iron, you have to manually use the bar on the anvil, and that will give you that bar's menu. So for bronze, we can make all of these items right here. Some are very exclusive, but they are members items, so we can actually focus on them. So don't worry about those for now. If you want to look at any of the skill specifics, you can simply click on the skill itself, and it will show you everything about that skill, what level you can make stuff. So here in the bronze category, we can see that we can make bronze daggers and bronze axes. For now, we are being told to smith a dagger, so that's what we're going to do. As you can see, it is highlighted in white, meaning we can make it. Everything here in black means we cannot make it, or we don't have the current level for it. So we're going to simply right click and we can smith one bronze dagger, and we've made ourselves our first weapon. Run on over to the east through this gate, and we will move on to the combat section of RuneScape. Here we have the combat instructor, who will teach us exactly how to fight. Speak to him and he will show you how to wear items. As you can see, we can now equip our bronze dagger. In this menu, you can see exactly what your stats are, so you know what you're strong at and what you are weak to. So right now, my stab is currently +4, as opposed to my crush, which is -4. That means if we're hitting something, it would be smarter for us to use stab instead of crush, because we would hit higher and more often. So once you have looked at all the stats and gotten familiar with them, speak to the combat instructor once again, and he will give you a bronze sword and a wooden shield. Now once you have equipped both of those, you can click on the combat options over here, and you can see all of these options. So we're going to look back at our stats now that we have new weapons equipped. So we can see that our stab is +4, and that is our highest bonus. As you can see by our defense, it is also really good. We are better equipped to defend against slash attacks as opposed to magic, as you can see by the +7 compared to the +1. Another big one to note is the melee strength that shows how high you can hit. So if I were to equip this bronze dagger, it is +3, as opposed to the bronze sword, which is +5. So that means we can actually hit higher with this bronze sword than we can with this bronze dagger. So we're going to put on the bronze sword once again. We're going to go into the options, and if you hover over these, you can see that it says accurate stab attack experience, aggressive stab strength experience, aggressive slash strength experience, and then defensive stab defense experience. There are many accounts that go with being pures, meaning that they only have a certain amount of stats. So if you want to be a pure, I'm not going to focus on that in this video, but if you would like to see a video like that, let me know down in the comments and I will make a video about how to make a pure. We are going to go in there with our stab attack equipped. Going to click on the gate. We're going to simply attack this giant rat. Don't worry about dying here on Tutorial Island. Death means nothing to you. It is also very hard to die, so don't really worry about it. Just get in, kill the rat, and get out. So, we've made our first kill, and it will drop bones. Now with these bones, we can actually go and bury them, which will give us prayer experience. Prayer is very hard to level up on Tutorial Island, so don't really focus on that. Once you've gotten your first kill, you can run back through to the combat instructor, and he will now give you ranged items. So, if you click on the short bow and the bronze arrows, that will unequip any shields that you have, because most ranged items are not meant for having something in both hands, because with a short bow, as you can see, when you pull an arrow back, you need your second hand. So, we are not able to wear any shields. Keep that in mind for when you are taking damage, because that means your defense will be lower, typically. Once you've gotten your stuff equipped, you can go into your menu again, and as you can see, for ranged weapons, the options are very limited. So all you can see is that your range is +8, and that's about it. So you don't really have to focus on any of these. However, there is actually some information about these saying which is better. Early on, the accurate will give an invisible +3 to +4 to your range, so you'll actually hit more often. Rapid will hit much faster, I believe 1 tick faster. A tick is 0.6 seconds, and long range will give you both ranged experience and defense experience, and you are able to hit farther away. So because we are level 1 range, we want that invisible +3 or 4 range level, so we're going to click on it from here, and although we're not going to hit very high, we will have a higher chance of hitting than if we were on rapid or long range, despite my hits, as you can see. But right there, we've got that one already, so just sit back and watch yourself deal 0 damage, or hopefully kill it fast. Alright, and right there, the rat has died, so we are now able to move on. Click north once again and head up the ladder by climbing up it, and you will find yourself near a bank. Click around so you can go inside the bank and head on inside. If you talk to the banker, he will actually show you your bank, which you are always given 25 GP at the start of your account. Now here's a big one. The poll booth is actually a members feature, so we can't actually do anything about it right now, but it's actually very interesting. If you click on it, you can see all of the things that RuneScape and Jagex are polling that current week. There is not always a poll open, but when there is, it's highly recommended to go and vote, because your opinion will be heard. Anything that has a 75% or higher typically will pass. So as you can see for this next, for question 2, it has a 95.5% approval rating, meaning that whenever Jagex gets around to it, it will be implemented into the game, as opposed to something like this, question 1, which only has a 66.4% chance of passing. A 66.4% approval rating, meaning it will probably not be introduced anytime soon. Sometimes they do re-poll things if they feel strongly about something, but for the most part, if it gets denied, it gets denied. So as you can see, everything here currently is highlighted in green, except for this first question, meaning everything except this first question is going to be implemented very soon. So once you have gotten associated with the poll booth, simply open the door and you can speak to the account guide. He will give us a new option, the account management. Here we can upgrade to membership. We can see the benefits of membership. If you have any messages that Jagex sends you, they will send it to you here. Don't check your emails often for Jagex things, because a lot of them are phishing scams from random people. And here is the option to change our name. Again, I mentioned that in the beginning. We can do that for free every month on a member's account, or we can use a bond to speed up the process. I don't believe free-to-play can change their name. Once you have gotten associated with this page right here, speak to the account guide once again, and he will teach us about free-to-play worlds and membership worlds. There are worlds with total levels. There's a lot of fancy worlds out there, so always keep that in mind. And he also teaches us about bonds, which we can actually buy with in-game money, about 3 mil or so typically. which will give us 14 days RuneScape membership. Run into the church once you have finished that, and you will talk to Brother Brace, who will teach you about prayer. Click on the prayer menu, and you can see all the prayers. Some of these do require you to be a member to actually use, so keep that in mind. So once you've done that, talk to Brother Brace once again, and he will talk about how prayer works. There's prayer bonus, prayer drains, and then you can move on from there. If you would like to see a guide on prayer and the in-depths of that skill and how it works, let me know down in the comments below and I will make a video on it. Once you have talked to him about the friends list, speak to him again. He will talk to you about the ignore list and basically how it works. If you'd like a video on that, let me know down in the comments and I can go in depth. Run south to our final room, to the magic instructor, and he will teach us all about magic. So he will give you a new tab, the magic tab. Straight off the bat, he has the filters option open. You guys can close this if you don't like how this menu is sorted by simply right-clicking on the magic tab itself and disable spell filtering. That will show you all of them at all times. If you'd like a more in-depth guide on the magic spell filtering, let me know down in the comment. For now, I will leave them disabled so you all can see all the spells that are available once you have the level and runes. Speak to the magic instructor once again, and he will give us runes for Wind Strike. If you look in your inventory, we have 5 air runes and 5 mind runes. So if we look at the spells we are able to cast level 1 Wind Strike, which requires 1 mind rune and 1 air rune. So we can run on over to this chicken pen, and we can manually click on the spell and use it on an enemy. So once you have hit the chicken, you are now able to go inland. So speak to the magic instructor once again, and he will ask you if you are ready to go to the mainland. Click yes if you are ready to go, and he will ask if you are planning to become an Iron Man, by the way. That is an inside joke. Most Iron Men will always say Iron Man, by the way, and it's kind of a RuneScape thing. So if you're an Iron Man, let people know by saying Iron Man, by the way. So you can ask him what's an Iron Man, if you want to become an Iron Man or no. For this series, I will not be an Iron Man, simply because it kind of makes the series go by faster and is easier to make for me to push out videos for you guys if you need guides on anything. So I'm not going to be an Iron Man, by the way. And he will say okay. He will teleport us. And this is it, guys. Our first steps into the real world of Galanor. We are here, and we are in RuneScape. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any other videos you want me to do and show you guys how to do stuff in RuneScape. I will be sure to go out of my way and make you all guides on how to do whatever you need in RuneScape. So, I will leave you all there. I hope you all had a good time, and I will see you all next time.